If you've ever wanted to start reselling online, you've probably asked yourself one question: should I resell on Vinted or eBay? Honestly, both platforms are really popular, but they're actually pretty different. Some people swear by Vinted because it's simple and easy to use, while other people prefer eBay because it gives you access to millions of buyers around the world. So which one is actually better? In this video, I'm going to compare Vinted and eBay in a few important categories, like fees, shipping, how easy they are to use, what sells the best, and which platform has the biggest earning potential. By the end of this video, you should have a much better idea of which platform is the right fit for you. Whether you're just cleaning out your closet or you're thinking about starting a reselling business. Let's get started. Before we compare them, let's quickly talk about what these platforms actually are. Vinted is mainly focused on second-hand fashion. Most people use it to buy and sell clothes, shoes, bags, and accessories. It's designed to be really simple, so even if you've never sold anything online before, it's pretty easy to get started. eBay, on the other hand, is a much bigger marketplace. You can sell almost anything there, from clothing and electronics to collectibles, books, video games, and even car parts. Since eBay has buyers from all over the world, your products can reach a much larger audience. So the biggest difference is that Vinted is more specialized and beginner-friendly, while eBay is a global marketplace with a much wider range of products. Neither platform is necessarily better than the other. It really depends on what you're planning to sell and who you want to sell it to. That's exactly what we're going to look at throughout this video. Now let's talk about something that's really important, especially if you're new to reselling: how easy it is to get started. So when it comes to Vinted, the process is very straightforward. Creating an account only takes a few minutes, and listing an item is quick and simple. You just upload a few photos, write a short description, set your price, and you're basically done. The app guides you through everything, so you don't really need any previous experience. eBay is a bit different. It's still not difficult, but there are definitely more things to think about. Depending on what you're selling, you might need to choose the right category, add more details about the item, decide on your shipping options, and sometimes even think about international buyers. And honestly, when I tried eBay for the first time, because eBay gives you more options, it can feel a little overwhelming at first. I totally didn't know how to even list an item, and I found it very hard. But once you get used to it, those extra features can actually help you reach more customers and sell your items more effectively. So if you're looking for the easiest platform to start with, I'd probably say Vinted. But if you're willing to spend a little more time learning how everything works, eBay offers a lot more flexibility in the long run and overall potential. And honestly, when I saw like the biggest resellers on social media, they usually were selling through eBay. Next, let's talk about fees, because this is one of the biggest things people look at when choosing a platform. One of the biggest advantages of Vinted is that in many cases, sellers don't pay a selling fee. That means if you sell an item, you usually keep the full amount you listed it for. Instead, many of the costs are paid by the buyer through buyer protection and shipping fees. eBay works a little different. Sellers usually have to pay selling fees, and depending on what you're selling, there may also be payment processing fees. The exact amount can vary based on the category, your location, and your seller account, so it's always worth checking the latest fee structure before listing your items so you don't get surprised. At first, that might make Vinted seem like the obvious winner. But it's also important to look at the bigger picture. Because eBay has a much larger audience, some items can sell for higher prices, which may help offset the fees. So if you're like selling old clothes and your main goal is not to prioritize profit, I would probably go with Vinted. But if you're selling products that have strong demand worldwide and you want to make a lot of money, eBay can still be a great option even with the extra costs. Now let's talk about the audience, because this can make a huge difference in how quickly your items sell. So Vinted has a large community of buyers, especially across Europe. If you're selling everyday items like clothes, shoes, or accessories, there's a good chance someone is already looking for exactly what you have. It's a great platform for secondhand fashion and reaching people in nearby countries. eBay, however, has a much bigger global audience. Millions of people use it every day and buyers come from all over the world. And also, I forgot to say that Vinted, even though it's mostly in Europe, you can't buy from all the countries that are using Vinted. Only few countries are always connected, so it's a bit limited. That means your listings have the potential to be seen by far more people, especially if you're selling something rare, collectible, or hard to find. Having a larger audience can also mean more competition, but it also increases the chance of finding the right buyer who is willing to pay a good price. So if you're selling common clothing items, Vinted's audience is often more than enough. But if you want to reach customers worldwide or sell unique products, eBay definitely has the advantage. Now let's look at what actually sells best on each platform. Starting with Vinted, it's pretty clear that fashion is the main focus. Things like clothing, shoes, handbags, accessories, and even some beauty products tend to sell really well. But over the years, the items that sell on Vinted has spread, and you can sell almost anything right now. Since most people go on Vinted specifically to shop for fashion, that's where you'll usually have the best results. eBay is much more diverse. Of course, you can sell clothing there too, but it's also a great place for electronics, video games, collectibles, trading cards, books, watches, tools, car parts, and many other types of products. If you want to sell for example, Pokemon cards, I would definitely go for eBay. If there's demand for it, chances are you can sell it on eBay. Another thing to keep in mind is that rare or collectible items often perform better on eBay, as I said with the Pokemon cards. Because you're reaching buyers from all over the world, someone on the other side of the planet might be willing to pay much more than a local buyer for the exact same item. So if you're mainly selling clothes or clearing out your wardrobe, Vinted is probably the better choice. But if you want to sell a wider variety of products or specialize in niche items, eBay gives you many more opportunities. Now let's talk about shipping, because this is something that can really affect your overall selling experience. With Vinted, shipping is one of the easiest parts of the process. Once your item sells, the buyer chooses a shipping method and you receive a prepaid shipping label. All you have to do is pack the item, drop it off at the selected pickup point, and that's pretty much it. The whole process is designed to be as simple as possible, and that's honestly what I love about Vinted, about how comfortable it is for the seller. eBay gives you a lot more flexibility, and honestly, when I sold my first item on eBay, I absolutely didn't know what to do and how to send it. But that also means a bit more responsibility. In many cases, you'll need to decide which shipping service to use, calculate the shipping cost, and if you're selling internationally, you may also need to think about customs forms or delivery time. That might sound a little complicated at first, but it also gives you more control. You can choose the shipping options that work best for your business and even offer different delivery methods to your buyers. So if convenience is your priority, Vinted definitely has the advantage. But if you want more flexibility and don't mind spending a little extra time managing shipping, eBay gives you a lot more options. So after comparing Vinted and eBay, which platform is actually better? The truth is, there isn't one right answer. It really depends on what you're selling and what your goals are. If you're looking for a simple platform where you can quickly sell clothes and other fashion items and you don't really care about the profit that much, Vinted is probably the better choice here. Vinted is easy to use, beginner friendly, and the whole selling process is very straightforward. On the other hand, if you want to reach buyers from all over the world and sell a wider variety of products, eBay offers you a lot more opportunities. It might take a little longer to learn, but it can definitely be worth it. Personally, I think both platforms have their strengths, and in some cases, using both can actually be the best strategy. If you enjoyed this comparison or found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more reselling tips and online business content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.